Anything? We good here? Anything? Okay. All right, we good here? Dang, that delay is crazy. All right. Anything? Okay. All right, we good here? Dang, that delay. Am I behind that much? There's no way. Like, just refresh real quick. Anything? Okay. All right, we good here? Yeah, that delay is crazy. I think TikTok's the only one that stays. I don't want to say in real time. I bet there's, you know, milliseconds or whatever of a delay. But anyway, all right, we're locked in. Okay, so per the last few, we're gonna run this for an hour. We might go over, but we're gonna run this for an hour. I have made some progress on a couple titles, and there's also some things that were pulled from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. I'll explain the new things, blah blah. Right. So here's where I'm at. At 202 after Anthem, there's 416 games played, 242, 70%. Right. Like you can read all that, all the numbers at the top there. I wish that I could see the mouse, cause like I move over things with the mouse, but then I realize that you guys can't actually see that until I highlight it. So that's kind of whack. I'm sure I can change that, but it's all right. All right, so Dead Nation. Me and a homie picked this up. The last time I played this was like 2011. All right. Um, Me and my friends play all of the consoles, including the Vita. What happened? We won't talk about it. So I don't know. Dead Nation. We can just leave that be, but I pulled that to the top of the list because we started playing, and these are two of the DLC trophies. I've been playing through through Secret Agent Clank. This game just, all right. It's a game of its time. It's not a bad title, but it's certainly a game of its time. And for this to be a Clank game, there's a lot of Ratchet stuff in there, but you can't really tell this story without him, right? I'm sure they could have done something, but it's a lot. I'd imagine it was a lot easier to sell a Clank game with Ratchet gameplay than to sell a Clank game without Ratchet's influence. Like what does well I'm gonna say what does Clank have, that he could even tell an isolated story other than going back to the factory that he was made at. But is that something we'd want to see? I don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that they do go to that factory in one of the games. But I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, Minecraft just doing the DLCs. They I heard something outside. Um, they released that new friendly ghast, right? The one that you can ride on and stuff. And then there's the heart. Man, I forget what it's called. Let's just open it up. Okay, so yeah, heart transplant. Place a creaking heart within the correct alignment, and then play a dried gas into a block of water. So yeah, I just earned those real quick. Uh, and then I earned the gas one on the PS5 version. I still need to go and clean up the PS3 version, but uh, you know, a part of me doesn't want to do all of the stuff required, right? Um, Part of the reason that I got some of these DLCs done on the PS5 and PS4, like I don't know, like expansion packs like 9 through 8, which would not be on the one that I just opened up. So the PS5 list is slightly different than the PS4 and PS3. They did remove some trophies like the PvP stuff. They removed all that, which I don't know who was really playing that anyway. Maybe like some young jits, but like there's outside of all right, I wasn't even looking at these as we were moving down. Okay, so some of these are just simple, right? Like tame a horse, power a furnace with lava, dye your bed a different color, use the totem of undying to cheat death, right? Some of these are pretty easy. I don't know what a conduit is. I don't want to find whatever that is. What are some other ones that I just didn't want to do? It'd be easier to pull up the PS4 one, honestly, because these ones aren't too bad. But like visit all ocean biomes, which I guess over time you would do it. But like that's the thing though, right? There's like these trophies aren't difficult. Like none of them are difficult by any means. But it's just like I just don't want to do it, And like trading for 1,000 emeralds, why? You know how many stupid things I have to collect to get like 3 emeralds depending on where I'm at and in what world was generated? Alright, so what I did was, and I'm going to make a whole clip about it. There's people have built worlds. They've created servers that allow for anybody to enter and just unlock everything. You have to do it, of course. You can't just like go in there and then it happens. Although there is one where you go in there and then trophies just start popping, or achievements just start popping. But the world that I like, you have to do the task still to get the trophies, but it's all lined up. Like literally, it's lined up, trophy by trophy by trophy. Like you couldn't even see my hand. Let me do it this way. Yeah, I was doing this, but the other way. So it's perfect, y'all. Like it's really an awesome thing. Like shout out to everybody that made it. And then outside of like the complexity that is the trophy unlock conveyor belt, there's a whole world outside of that. They got a whole Ferris wheel. They got a shop. Like they built a whole world around the world that gives you all the trophies. And I think that's so cool because when I first played Minecraft, I was playing it and my homie at the time put me on to Minecraft on his phone. We was playing that in the back of science class. And the teacher ended up liking it too. He was like, "What are y'all doing?" And he tried to take the phone and stuff. And he was like, but we showed him. And he was like, "Oh, this is actually lit." So we ended up playing still. I hope that teacher's still alive. And if he is alive, I hope he's doing the best he can. I ain't seen a lot of those people from my childhood in a while, long time. But yeah, so he showed me in the back of science class, and then I ended up getting it on PS3 because they launched it, right? So, and it just took my life over. Like I'm sure a lot of young kids still are facing today. But what I liked about it, oh no. Or not what I liked about it. What I started doing in my world that I built was developing it around trophies. It was a very organic thing. It was a very organic world, and I don't miss the world, but I miss the memories that happened in that world, and I miss the time spent with my friends, and I'm very thankful for having those experiences. But yeah, so the world I built it all around this idea of let's build it so we can earn trophies and we can invite people in here to not only help us build the world, but they can come in and they can get a platinum trophy too. Um, the ambition was just me, but as things progressed and the game got put on PS4, I started earning those trophies again using the same world. And I never thought that we were going to get a PS5 version, which I don't understand why I even thought that, but I ended up playing creative on that world, disabling all trophy access. So it's a wrap. But shout out to these people that made the world. There's a lot of people that do this. There's a ton of trophy and achievement worlds. So shout out to everybody that does such a thing and even cares about trophies to this capacity. And like, it's a really weird world to live in, the trophy world, because you get on there. Like, I'm just gonna talk about a couple of my homies that I still talk to. So Battlefield Bad Company was shutting down, and I hopped on and I was trying to just make it happen a little bit. And then I found some people and I started messaging them. I was like, hey, you guys, like, because I looked at their trophy count and I was like, you guys trying to do this? Are you guys trying to, like, work together and try to get this platinum? And then that turned into the three of us, like, privately trying to get kills and stuff, but it never worked. And then connecting to a bigger group that allowed for us to get the platinum. Incredible. But the point of this is like, I still talk to those people to this day, and the trophy hunting community is incredible in that aspect because, I mean, potentially through the long hours that you spend earning a trophy that isn't real, you make a lot of deep connections and you get to learn about people's lives, and some of these people have kids, and you get to even know their kids. Like, it's crazy. It's the craziest thing in the world. Like, there are people that I was playing video games with when I was 14 that I still know to this day. To this day. I'm 29. And it's like, it's crazy work. Like, the ability to make connections as human beings is a skill and an aspect of life that is no longer appreciated. I say that hesitantly because, I have no problem going to the supermarket and chopping it up with just random folk. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. Let's keep going. So I've been playing Black Ops Cold War. I figure it's about time for me to wrap that up. I got that trophy to upgrade all perks to level 3. Or 6 perks, not all perks. 6 perks to level 3. And now the only thing that I have to do left is the DLC for Onslaught, and which that game mode's trash. And a couple of the Dead Ops trophies. I gotta beat Dead Ops and then check all the caves and whatnot. Okay, so Letting Go Gangs of the Wild West. This one is crazy for the backlog because this game, and alright, so I didn't think that I was ever going to get this game again. I don't know how I got it in the first place. I either didn't like it, didn't have the time, or didn't have the mental capacity to sit through and play this title. But it's mad easy. Like, we got all of these, all but Force Multiplier and Avarice. Somebody help me in the comments. In one session. So now we just got to grind out all of this nonsense for Force Multiplier. And alright, look, this game doesn't suck, but it's just not fun. And because at this point, I'm not playing this on PS3. It's in the Classics catalog, and I'm streaming it. And that PlayStation streaming service, alright, when PS Now came out, I was like, alright, this is fire, because I can go and play old PS3 games. This is like I was playing this on PS4. I can play old PS3 games that I either never got the chance to purchase or play, like borrow. But I could also clean up old titles. Okay, so I started playing um, Sonic the Hedgehog, Adventure Battle 2. That game couldn't even load up the models. It couldn't load up the textures. It couldn't load up anything. And when it did load up everything, right, I couldn't even move. Like the game was so laggy and so buggy that it didn't matter what I did. I got to the end point in one of the missions where you had to fight a mini boss. And my character was doing things I didn't want it to do and what I wanted it to do. And every time I was successful in my movement attempts for the game, whether that be attack or just getting the hell out of the way, it would register my movement, but then I'd still get hit as if I had never moved at all. And then my rings would show up in the location that I was in. It was trash. So, compared to back then and today, we've had 10 years growth. It works a lot better than it did. But, boy, it struggles. And it struggles real bad with games that require an online connection. And I want to just ask, how is this game still active? Like, so we played, I think, maybe 3 separate days. And maybe 5 separate days. And we were actually picking up randoms. And I thought that was the craziest thing in the world. And these people were not trophy hunters. Yeah, because you can look at their profile. Like, these people were not trophy hunters. And is it like people looking through the catalog and they're like, whoa. And that sun is hitting a crazy angle now. See, but now it's all dark in here. It'll pass, guys. Guess the only one worried about it is me, right? But no, they were probably thinking like, hey, this is cool. This is a old Wild West game. That sun glare is crazy. It's crazy work. It's like right on the camera. No. Sorry, it's cool. We're listening anyway. I'm not gonna talk about Battlefield 6. Shout out to the homie. So I don't really buy games, and right now I'm just not in a position where I should just even be spending money on games like this. Like, damn, bro, $70 to $100 for a game. I'm good. Like, I pay for PlayStation Plus. Like, I get a ton of games for free. Well, not for free because I'm paying for it, but you get your money back within, depending on what title you're playing, within 3 to 7 titles. You're getting your money back. And depending on the premium plan that you pay for, that's going to increase the number slightly. But still, like, maybe I'll just move it forward. That's crazy word. There we go. The sunlight was like just on the camera. It was crazy looking. Yeah, so I'm just my homie gave me that because he knows that I'm a good player and I'd hop on and I'd kill shit, right? Good time. So shout out to him. That actually happens to me quite often, and I'm very thankful. A lot of people buy games for me because they know that I'm reliable and I'm a good player, and it doesn't take long for me to like get with the shits. And then there's just like, I don't know, just people just give me stuff because I'm just that guy. So it's cool. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for everything that you guys provide me. I'm not even trying to brag right now, but like, this is how I get access to a lot of shit. Marvel Rivals. Okay, so I've been playing this, so this is kicked up to the top. And then after this, we can just go back to It Takes Two. I've been playing this. I got one trophy left. It's the It's the trophy to play as Wolverine and to get 3 kills with his special ability. And let me tell you, Wolverine is very difficult to play with. Him, Captain America, and Black Panther, I had a terrible time. A terrible time. But I'm going to work on that. We're going to get wrapped up. Alright, let's move along. Did I go too fast? Wait. That's crazy. You know, it's wild. I got so many games and I got so many duplicates. We might have already talked about It Takes Two, but at the top, because we were around GTA 4. Yep. Right, because then I made a comment about My Little Pony. Okay, so It Takes Two. I'm sure we already covered it, but I'm going to lightly go over this. It Takes Two is a crazy title. And it's not a crazy title because of the co-op component. We've seen co-op components before in games. Were they as magnificent as this? No, but we've seen them. Alright, great. So I think what's awesome about this title is that it's sold, it was marketed and discussed as an introductory title. Right? Like you saw all the jokes online about the boys that play video games and understand the concepts quickly, and the girls that don't play or play minimally, and if they do play, they're probably playing something else like Animal Crossing or Disney Dreamlight Valley, right? Okay, so in this title there are so many versions of games like naval shooters, FPS, 2D side scrollers, action adventure-esque, which is the whole title. Like it was incredible. It was incredible. You know, as far as a little game like this, right? Because it wasn't just a little game. Like this shit blew up. Like this studio that made this game, I've played a lot of their titles. Well, not a lot. They don't even have a lot. They only have 4. I played Brothers. I forgot what the one was after that. But then there was It Takes Two, and now there's Split Fiction. I haven't played Split Fiction, but like this team, they're doing great work. They're doing great work. That's all I gotta say. It's real nice outside. Should go touch grass. Okay, Twisted Metal 2. And we'll talk about Twisted Metal 2 and Twisted Metal 1 all together. Okay, so these games, I'm not doing this because they're bad, but like the trophy lists are damn near exactly the same. So you just gotta, like in Twisted Metal 1, you gotta play as all the characters and beat them, and then you do some miscellaneous stuff with some weaponry or maybe some Easter eggs. Twisted Metal 2 is just about the same thing, except you gotta beat it once, and then do some miscellaneous. Right, you just get one from beating through the story mode. You don't have to. Oh, you do gotta do all the characters. Okay, alright, cool. Maybe not all of them, but a few of them. Because I swear there's more. That might just be all the characters. I'm tripping. I'm going to end up playing that game again. But either way, like, it's pretty easy. Beat the game. It doesn't take very long. It's kind of a frustrating experience because it's a really outdated title. But it's alright. I'm really excited to play 3 and 4. I just haven't gotten around to it because, like, I get into this. I'm sure there's a psychological term for it. It might even be this, but it's like decision paralysis. You know, like when you have so many options or the illusion of so many options, you just get fatigued and don't do anything. And that's so poor because that has plagued me for so long, and it's probably because of trophy hunting. And I should probably make a video about this because it is pretty interesting. Like, we do all this to get these things, not for the enjoyment, but just to get these things. Like, out of the 242 games on this list, I could probably confidently my sentence is inconsequential after words like that. But anyway, I say of those 242 titles, maybe 50 of them, 70 of them I've actually like really wanted to play. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm talking play not for the trophies. I'm talking play for the content that could be. Right? Like I really want to play Battlefield 6, so that's an up there. You know, I don't mind that one. So, but God, man, it's a real problem. You know, it'd be cool to bring in another trophy hunter in here and talk about that because what the hell is even going on? Anyway, okay, so we're gonna get into Kung Fu Panda and then Battlefield Bad Company. We're gonna talk Battlefield Bad Company first. Okay, so this is a traditional PlayStation early list title, right? Dang, that angle's about to hit that camera again. So, what I mean by a traditional PS3 early list title is you beat the game, you do the collectibles, you do a couple miscellaneous, maybe there's multiplayer, and in the multiplayer it could be very egregious or it could be something as simple as ranking up and beating a few challenges, right? Maybe do some cool stuff like kill 2 people with 1 rocket. So yeah, but that's not what happens here for Battlefield Bad Company. It's not simple, okay? It's pretty simple. Like 100 kills using a vehicle, get to rank 25. In every vehicle, get 1 kill. Place number 1 in a ranked match, collect dog tags. Like, it's not crazy. But what's crazy is beans, bullets, and bandages. Okay, so what makes this trophy crazy? 10,002 kills? That sounds like it should be very doable. No, Battlefield Bad Company, because remember, this is an early Battlefield title, and honestly, it probably doesn't even matter anyway. It's probably still the same case. You're not running into this like it's Call of Duty. You know, you're not jumping in and running and gunning and getting 10,000 kills in just a month, or in less than that for some players, right? Like, I think even for the best of players, without falling into that weird spawn trap stuff, are averaging 20 kills a game. Argue with me in the comments if you think that that's a crazy thing to say. So, beans, bullets, and bandages is crazy long. Crazy long. I thought I was going to do that legit in 2010. Nope. I decided early I was going to say bleep this game. Alright? I never thought I was going to get this game. I said the same thing about GTA 4 because Alvida St. Petrovic was nonsense. And nobody was coordinated enough. Nobody was communicative enough to get these things done. But then I finally got them done. And then I finally got this done. Battlefield Bad Company 1. When they announced the server shutdowns, I was on it. They also shut down BFBC 2, and I already had that one done a long time ago because I really like that game. And then they also shut down Dante's Inferno all in the same weekend. Dante's Inferno has an online mode that if I haven't already talked about in a previous stream, I will talk about in another stream. They had this like trial thing that the developers made. They had solo trials and co-op trials, so that means you had to play online. They also had this thing where you can make your own dungeons and then other people can play it and raid it and trash. Quickly you found out that people were just making nonsense to boost trophies. Beautiful to all those people that simplified the process so that way me towards the later end of the life cycle can earn it without suffering, with the exception of the EA trials. So yeah, a lot to say. This game took too long. Now it's the same exact thing for Kung Fu Panda, except it was not entertaining at all. Okay, so not only do you have to beat the story for let me move this over a little bit. Move myself over for a little bit. Alright, not only did you have to beat the arcade for every character, which took a little while depending on the fighter, you got to do the tutorials, you got to play practice, so you know, you got to do all the miscellaneous nonsense. But what was really trash was to reach Master Mantis online ranking, and then Master Panda. Okay. This took me, and I forgot his name. He has a YouTube channel. I'll find it and I'll put it in the description. Me and this other guy went crazy trying to get these things done. You can end the match. Oh, okay, so you have to play anywhere from 860 games to potentially 2,000 plus online matches to get this done. So it's just hours and hours and hours of you just running off the screen, or your teammate running off the screen to earn victory after victory after victory. There's a way to cheese the system to double your points to minimize the amount of games you have to play. But good lord, I had somebody reach out to me shortly after I earned this platinum. They said, "Brother, can you help me?" No, I'm sorry. No. There's only very few games that I'll go back and play. And unfortunately, this is just not one of them. I'm sorry. Same for Advanced Warfare and Ghost. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'll play World at War with you. I might even play Black Ops with you. I might even finish God of War 3 for you. Or World at War. Let's continue. Bunny Raiders, I believe we already talked about. Dungeon Fighter Easy. That game was fun, but it was pretty glitchy at times, so I had to play through the game over and over and over again, just to result in the same mistake. It wasn't even mine to begin with. My Friend Peppa Pig. That game's trash. Let's not talk about it. Okay, Sound Shapes. So I don't know if we've already talked about this or not. There's 3 versions. I think there's actually 9 because of region games. But this game, the Vita one specifically, so it's a fun like puzzle platformer musical game. It's pretty entertaining. I love the sounds because I just thoroughly love music, thoroughly enjoy music. But there was a trophy on here that I couldn't earn because the DLC wouldn't download. And I sat in this limbo. It was the Future Funk 3000. Like, it wouldn't download. Like, actually, none of these would download because of where I was living. The internet connection just didn't work with the Vita or something. It didn't work with my PS3. I didn't play my PS3 online for like 9 years, bro. That's the only console I care about. That was tragic for me. Anyway. That sounds crazy. But yeah, so I ended up finally getting it, and then I got all the platinums and wrapped that game up. I'm glad that I got it done because it was kind of a pain in the ass. Word Search by Paugi. I haven't gotten it done because I just can't really sit there and play this game, man. It's just, why did I do this? Why? Because I thought it was going to be easy and I'd get a double plat. It's easy, but word searches suck digitally. The sound clipped on that last one. Sorry, I got loud. Like, damn, I'm probably hella loud on here. My input was maxed out. Oh boy, man. Watching this in the edits is going to be rough. Sorry to anybody's eardrums that might have ruptured on that last one. Hopefully you've put me down to the point that like I don't hurt your eardrums. But anyway, it's trash, man. It's trash, okay? Word searches are not fun. They're not fun. They're not fun. Okay, so Run Sackboy Run. It took that long because it's a Vita game. And I don't know any other way to say it. This game was whack, and it's on the Vita. The Vita's not fun to play. After 30 to 45 minutes, your hands just don't even feel alright holding that thing. Like, I bought this little... This John is dusty. I bought the little, the little shoulder thing, case for it, to make it a bit more tolerable. But then the games just suck. So I'm not even trying to play it. And then they stopped supporting it 2 years post anyway. So, like, who cares? Destroy All Humans 2. So I was playing this game. I really like this game. I played it a lot as a kid, and I got a lot of great memories associated with this. I was trying to play it, but then they took the game off PlayStation Plus, and I wasn't aware of it. And I'm not paying full price for this. So we'll get that whenever it gets severely discounted or it's free again. I got the first one done, and I also got this side one done that was 2 cents, the multiplayer version. Buns! Okay. So Spectre Woods, I swear this is just a college project that these fools just put up. The game's, it's like, it's cool insight into like the indie world, and like, I swear it's probably made by like a team of 3 dudes. It's cool, like it's fun, but it's also just shovelware, so that's what it is. I'm in love with your dead grandmother. This, nobody, nobody by anything produced by these people. I'm right now I'm giving them airtime, but I'm giving them airtime so we can not ever do this again. I couldn't even tell you what I was thinking. I was just on the store and I was like, whatever, I guess I'll try this out. Don't try this out. You addicted trophy hunters. Don't try this out. Don't try this out. Don't buy this. Don't game share this. Don't put it on your list and don't advertise it. This needs to be... If we're going to discuss this, we don't need to discuss this. Let this be the last time. Let this be the last time I talk about this, because we're not... These people are selling YouTube videos that would have been produced by 14-year-olds in the early YouTube days. You guys remember those days when they would create interactive videos and you got to tell your own plot by clicking different links? Or you remember how people used to just pick apart in the woods and then make their own, like, Mario and Luigi fights Captain America and Yoshi? You know, then they would just, like, suit everybody up in costumes and then act out a script that they wrote weeks prior. Yeah, that's what this is, but it's horrendously offensive. Its quality is horrendously offensive. I wish I didn't play this game. Memory Lane 2 and 1 shovelware memory games. Probably an app first and then sold for $1 or whatever. Okay, so Jak 2. Let's talk about all the Jak games just to cover it now. So Jak 2 came out. Jak 1, 2, and 3 and X came out on PS2. Naughty Dog made. I don't even need to tell the history. If you need the history, find it somewhere else, because you should know this title. I was not a big fan when it came to the PlayStation heroes, those being Sly, Ratchet, and Jak. This was my least favorite of the 3, and then playing them as an adult, still don't really like it. I felt like its plot twists, especially in 3, were really predictable. I feel like they didn't... Like, if the things that happened in 3 pushed the narrative further, we would have gotten a 4. And I just don't think that that's compelling enough. And that might be crazy to say, because you can be like, well, they couldn't make a 4 because they were moving on to PS3 and they had to change directions and blah, blah, blah. Sly got a 4th, and Ratchet's still coming out. Sly got a 4th, and Ratchet's still coming out. Alright, okay. Cult of the Lamb. This game, I have not gone back to clean it up. Oh, hold on. With Jak 1's easy. It's a platformer. You run around, you collect all the orbs. They're super easy to get. Jak 2 has challenges to the orbs, but other than that, you beat the game, beat the challenges, collect the orbs, and you're good to go. Jak 3 is a lot more complex, takes a lot longer, and you can't... So you can cheese all these titles and get the platinums. I didn't do that. I kind of want to do that for Jak 3. but I also don't really give a shit about Jak 3. So I'm stuck. Cult of the Lamb. This game is fantastic. Since the launch, it's gone through a lot of different iterations, and I can't tell you if the game's gotten worse or if it's gotten better. I am leaning towards the side of it getting worse because it was simple. It was simple. The dungeons were simple. Everything was simple. The systems, the little cult members, the systems behind those were simple. It's gotten a lot more complex, and they've added a lot more things, and things have gotten a lot more difficult, and there's a lot more stuff to collect. It increases the replay value of the title, but man, let me tell you, I beat this game 3 times. I platinumed this game twice. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to play this game again. It's great. It's great. But I don't want to play this game again. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. I think this game's ass. So we got a calculator. This is shovelware. Taco Fun shovelware. There's Bunny Raiders again. It's just shovelware. Quick stuff. I'll never get the Taco Fun, the Taco Run, the Jump, the Burrito Hop, the Burger Hop, the Taco Hop, the Sriracha Hop, the Sushi Hop. No. Any of those games where you sit around and you just press X about 60 times to make a piece of food or another item jump, and that's all you gotta do to get the platinum, I'm never gonna get those again. I'll play them if they're free, but I'm never gonna spend money on those because I was just doing it because I think it was a part of this video challenge on YouTube that I watched. So I just did the challenge, and it required playing like 23 or 24 shovelware titles and seeing how quick you can go through it. Trash. Shovelware, I was leaning... Let me not. Alright, okay, so we're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto 3. If you're familiar with Grand Theft Auto 3, not the game, but like the trophies behind the game, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I stopped playing it because I just didn't want to play it anymore because that game it's really outdated. It's really outdated. I was watching some videos on the trilogy the other day, and the guy that was playing them, he was even saying the same thing. Like, San Andreas is the only one that feels actually playable today because the other ones are mechanical messes, but they're products of their time, so you can't really hold them for that. Zombie is it's not a hard title, but it's a really ridiculous title because essentially you're trying to get the platinum in one run, right? Like one character life. So every time you start up with a character, that's your character. And then when they die, you have to start over. You can go and grab your things, but you're starting over on your stats. So it's really like the game sucks. And like that mechanic alone is just whack. So, the trophies aren't hard. It's just, once you get screwed, you get screwed. And I haven't even finished the game yet. Chicken mode, standard mode, survival mode. Brother, this game sucks. I'm not trying to run this up. Why did I play this? Because it was on the Wii U, and I was one of the fools that purchased the Wii U thinking that I was going to have a good experience, and I had a mid experience. And this was a game that was on the Wii U, only on the Wii U, and then got ported over to other titles. So I was like, hell, there's a trophy list on it. This is the game that I kind of missed out on. Let me go ahead and give it a shot. Why did I do that? You see this right here? It's not going to be 24 hours. That's prime play. I'm talking minimal errors, if none. These estimations on completion, I swear, are operating based on highest skill. Maybe even above mediocre skill. Because they're not even counting for the learning curve. I swear on some of these. Oh well, let's keep moving. Okay. My name is Mayo. I know it's a shovelware title and everybody thinks it's a joke. But as the game started to produce sequels, the studio produced sequels, they started to actually take it serious. So My Name is Mayo 1 was just you touching a piece of jar with some sexually explicit jokes and some other semi-crude humor. Put the jar in some costumes, told some jokes. But in 2, they started to really tell a narrative. This piece of mayonnaise, this jar of mayonnaise it wasn't just a jar you dress up. It had a life. And then in My Name is Mayo 3, they really pushed that. Not only did they introduce games in this game, but they had a compelling narrative about depression. The jar of mayonnaise was, trying to get his life together, and he was doing risky things, and found himself lost. And you were within the progression of this jar of mayonnaise's depression. You saw the room continue to get dirty. You saw the missed calls from his father. And then you see the text saying, Dad's gone. Not knowing what to do with his life, he tries to end his life. He walks through a forest with the intentions of making it to the cliff that's on the other side of said forest. You do a lot of drugs on the way over there. There's a lot of mushrooms in the forest that the player can pick up. And when you pick up these mushrooms, you play other games. And I actually think it's incentivized that you do it, because then there's certain story beats that come in and out. After that walk in the forest, he comes to some clarity, and he sees in the clouds that his father has always been proud of him. He's always been by his side, even when his son is messing up. And there's something really special about telling that kind of story, because that's something a lot of us deal with, And so what that it's a jar of mayonnaise? So what that it's a shovelware title that took this long to get to this point? They thank the fans. They're explicit in whoa, we didn't even realize that we were going to get to this point, but we produced something that hopefully you can be proud of. And I think it's amazing. Shout out My Name is Mayo. Shout out to all the people that made that game, because it really is. It's a cool narrative. I might even just play it on stream one day and talk about it. It's cool. But nah, we're going to keep going. Okay, so Dying Light. I haven't 100% of this because I haven't done the DLC and I haven't done the Bozak Horde, I think is what it's called. Yeah, the Bozaks. Yeah, apparently that's kind of difficult and you need a coordinated team. And I don't know, I just haven't sat around and done it. Now they got Dying Light 2, and that's apparently takes 500 hours to complete, and that sounds crazy. And that game's kind of trash. Dying Light 2 aesthetically is way worse. Way worse than the first game. The combat system and the parkour system have declined. It's not fun, and who even cares about the story? This is hilarious, the Am I Gay test. Why is this even here? PSN Profile is letting anybody put ad space on here. Keep getting your money, guys. Okay, the Mean Greens, Plastic Warfare. When this game came out, I'm sure it was lit. This is everything that I was playing when I was a kid and would still want to play as an adult, but we never got to because the game was shut down. So I played with bots for not 10 months, but I guess 10 months. I don't know what the actual cumulative gameplay time is on here, but it's a fun shoot 'em up. You know, you just got to get weapon kills and get 100 wins with green team, tan team, respectively. But it was a fun title. I really, I really wish that I would have been there for the heyday, if there even was a heyday. But I don't know. Super Destronaut. It's a shovelware title, but I actually had fun with this one. You just run around and shoot other like pixelated enemies and stuff. I actually thought it was kind of fun to play, but it's a shovelware title. Resistance Burning Skies. Okay, so I didn't have this one. I wanted to play this game when it came out. Never got to play it, but it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is beat the game, and then you gotta complete one online match. That's the hard part. That's the hard part about the online match. You can't cheese it. You gotta run through the whole 10 minutes. But other than that, all you gotta do is finish a game. You don't gotta win. You don't have to do anything in the game. You just gotta finish. So it's beautiful in that aspect. God, I need to go get some food. What are we running on here? What's our time? I don't even think we're at time. Oh, yeah, we're almost at an hour. That's crazy. So yeah, if you need help with this game, I keep Resistance Burning Skies on my Vita just to help people out with this platinum. So send me a message, leave a comment, whatever. I can help you earn this. The Walking Dead is The Walking Dead. We all know this trophy list. You play it, you beat it, you get the platinum. God of War. Okay, so Ragnarok in 2018. I have not gotten these platinums. I know I've said multiple times on stream that I really appreciate God of War. It's one of my top 5 favorite titles. But this Norse stuff, I don't like it at all. Because they hardly explain how he got there. And as far as like director commentary on it, to put it simply, he packed his bags and moved over to this part of the earth. So on the earth, the land, the realm, the mythology is bound by where on the planet it is, as well as including the mythical elements that are things like the additional 9 realms, because Earth would be on Midgard. So what current day Scandinavia, he just packed it. He just went from Greece, walked over there. I thought in God of War 3 the world was destroyed. That is what they said. That's what they said. Play God of War 3. They say the world has been destroyed. Okay, so I don't understand how we got here. And it's great. Like, these games are awesome. They're awesome. But the story, I don't give a shit about. Like, I don't like this nice Kratos. I don't like this. I'm trying to heal. I got a son. I'm trying to redo my whole thing again. I don't like that. I liked God of War, specifically 3, because it was big. It was destructive. It had exact direction. But this here, Man, we spend the first game of the will he won't he with the god shit and his son Atreus. It's Loki. Like, bro, what? I'm out. And then what? At the end of Ragnarok, he's doing what? He gonna go heal the world or whatever? What's Kratos doing? He about to go back and fix Greece? They talk about an Egyptian game? For him to go do what? Have another kid? Is he gonna kill that kid or save that kid? What? He fought Odin because he felt the presence of a powerful god and knew through manipulative tactics the prophecy. There was a prophecy about Kratos showing up to this place. They don't even get into this. We got a jar about Sparta. A couple one-liners maybe that aren't even substantial. But then they just fight the whole time in the first game. Just tell your son. No, I don't want to tell him. I'm asleep, man. It was such a hesitant. It was like watching Star Wars Episode 8. The whole time you were watching like a car chase, but it was spaceships in space for 2 hours. I don't care about that casino scene because they came right back and we were still on one of two ships. And then they sacrificed someone. Who was that lady in the first place? What did they do with God of War? Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was great. So much so that I even got the remastered version and did it again. It was great. It was iconic. It was 80s themed. It had everything that you'd want. You could shoot lasers. You could shoot arrows. You can blow things up. Even the animal life could shoot stuff at you. The blood dragons could shoot lasers. This was one of the... And everything is neon. This was one of the coolest things that I had played in a long time. When they came out with this game again, I shut down. I shut off all the lights, turned off my phone, and tapped in. Because this experience is one of the greatest experiences to have. Okay. I think we already talked about Marvel Spider-Man 2. And if I didn't say it then, I'm going to say it now. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 are excellent titles. But they're not game-changing. They're not provocative. They're not going to lead us into something grandiose. These titles are exactly what we wanted and exactly what we needed in 2002, in 2012, and 2020. Okay? They're polished. They're well ran. Everything that you want is there. The only thing that isn't there is stuff to do. Just like back in the day. It's an A to Z title, and you do the same stupid side missions and get the same collectibles, just like back in the day. It's not a fault to the people that made it. It's not a fault to Spider-Man or Marvel or anything like that. But it's how do you create a game that has replayable value like this. Maybe you introduce a multiplayer game where you can swing with your friends through Manhattan. Maybe it's a live service title where they introduce new villains, new heroes every few months, giving you new things to do and new experiences to share. Maybe they let you go to the West Coast after a certain point in this live service title. But maybe I'm just too dreamy. Assassin's Creed 2, PS4, not PS3. I bought the Ezio collection and have only played this. Assassin's Creed 2 is amazing. It was my first Platinum Trophy. Shout out to Ubisoft. This series has gone downhill significantly. I'll just leave it at that. Assassin's Creed 2 is great. Easy title. Beat it, collectibles, miscellaneous. Boom, you're good to go. Excuse me. Damn those feathers. Walking Dead Survival Instinct is one of the worst video games I have ever played in my life. I've played a lot of games. A lot of games. And this John is trash. Big buns. I think it requires 2 playthroughs. Yeah, okay, because when you're playing the game and you're trying to beat it, you have to make a few decisions as to what road you're going to take, literally. And then, that requires you having to then play it again and take the other road that you didn't take the first time. It's not hard. It's just god awful. Like, oh my gosh. It's so bad to play. It's just, it looks terrible. It plays terrible. It's like, come on. Daryl Dixon is he's one of the greatest characters of the TV series. And they gave him this. And like when this came out, this was the worst of it. We didn't even realize that it can get worse. We didn't anticipate that it was going to get worse. And then they dropped that Legacies game? Isn't that what it was called? Destinies. Oh boy. What is even the guide for this? What are we looking at? 10 hours. Okay. All right. So, at least while you sit through a terrible experience, you can hold out hope that it's not going to be for very long. So, whatever that's worth. That's craziness. All right. We're getting out of the rough patch really soon. Like, really. Okay, maybe we're not. But Flower, the saving grace. Okay, so we're at 64 minutes. I'll leave it with this. And I'm not going to talk about Violetti Goody because it's also one of those, like, probably a college project that they then sold and somehow made money off of. Flower was the original innovative, creative title to help show off the PS3's graphical fidelity. But only if you had a TV that supported such a thing. But outside of that game just being beautiful and that games company, that's their name, outside of them just making rich experiences that have symbolism and basic narratives that tell compelling stories based on your own experience, so everybody has an individual attachment to this game. It's not, that's usually the case for anything, but like, the story's told through you. and your association with what's on scene and with the basis that they're telling. Flower is about the reemergence of life after the concrete jungle has wiped out all of life. With one seed, with one flower petal, you amass enough energy and willpower to bring life back. This title has made it to PS3, 4, and Vita. And it's a masterpiece, and I've gotten all 3 of them done. We're going to quickly talk about The Walking Dead Season 2. This game didn't have a platinum. Bummer, 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 bummer. It's a Walking Dead game. You beat it, you get platinum. Or 100%, depending on your experience. We're going to come back to Plants vs. Zombies Vita, and then we're going to immediately skip over all of the shovelware titles. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here with me. I ranted a lot about a lot of different things. We did make some decent progress, not as much as probably some of the other videos, but that's because I sat around and I talked about a lot of different things and got off into a lot of different tangents. I really hope that this is content that you guys appreciate. I need to figure out ways to extrapolate this even further so that way I can have conversations with people. And then you guys can argue with each other about whether or not GTA 3 is hard or easy. Or if live service games should be implemented for Marvel Spider-Man multiplayer. Because that should be a thing that should happen. Because those universes and those games are great. And they could be a lot better than what they are. Because there's a lot of room for improvement. And Wolverine is not going to be as good as you guys say it's going to be. And you guys are going to stop playing it 2 months after launch. And the internet hype is going to die after 6, if not sooner. I said that on live. I should make a clip. Just playing around. I like you guys. Live well, stay human. We'll take care. We'll get back into it. Peace out. Hit me up if you want to get that Resistance game done. We'd be going for this trophy in sight. It's garbage. Hit me up. Peace out.